There is a war happening right now. Not in some distant country, not on a battlefield you can find on a map. It is happening inside you. It is the war between who you are and who you were built to become. And the most important thing I can tell you about this war is this.
The battles that will define your life will be fought in rooms where no one is watching. In the moment you decide to get up or stay down. In the moment you decide to work or to scroll. In the moment you choose the hard thing or the comfortable lie. Most people will lose this war, not because they are weak, but because they never even knew it was being fought. This is for the ones who are ready to fight. I want to tell you about a man named Marcus. Marcus was not famous. He was not rich. He did not have a platform or a following or a highlight reel. But everyone who knew him said the same thing. There was something different about him. He carried a quiet weight, not the weight of burden, the weight of depth. Like a man who had seen the bottom of things and chosen every single day to rise anyway. One day, someone asked him, "How did you become the person you are?" Marcus was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "Every morning for years, I woke up and I chose the person I wanted to be, before anyone was there to see it." The questioner waited, expecting more, but Marcus just smiled, because that was the whole answer. We live in an age that worships the visible, the result, the transformation photo, the achievement post, the moment the crowd claps. But Marcus had learned what all truly great people eventually learn. The crowd never sees the real work. The real work is invisible. It lives in the darkness before the dawn, in the silence before the success, in the thousands of small, private choices that no one records, no one celebrates, and no one even notices. That is where a life is actually built. I want to be honest with you about something almost no one is honest about. There is a gap. There is the person you present to the world, the person in your profile, in your goals, in your vision board, in your prayers. And then there is the person you are at 11 p.m., when you are tired, when the phone is right there, when the easy choice is sitting in front of you like an open door. Most people live their entire lives inside that gap. And the tragedy is not that the gap exists. The tragedy is that most people never name it, so it never closes. Here is why. We've been sold a version of discipline that is really just performance. The 5 a.m. aesthetic, the gym selfie, the productivity thread. Discipline as a brand. But real discipline, the kind that actually changes a life, does not look like that. Real discipline is boring. It is repetitive. It is the same small war, fought the same quiet way, day after day. Discipline is not a feeling. It is a decision made again and again. Here is where almost every conversation about discipline goes wrong. They focus on behavior, morning routines, habit stacking, time blocking. But those things are not the root. The root of lasting discipline is not what you do. It is who you believe you are. People do not act against their identity for long. If deep inside you believe you are the kind of person who quits, you will quit. But the reverse is also true. There is a moment that changes everything. The moment someone stops saying, "I am trying to be more disciplined," and starts saying, "I am a disciplined person." When discipline becomes identity, missing a day feels like betrayal of who you are. You cannot sustainably discipline your behavior until you discipline your beliefs about yourself. So the question is not, how do I become more disciplined? The real question is, Who have I decided to be? This is not a new idea. Every tradition that has ever produced great human beings taught the same principle. Master yourself first. In Stoic philosophy, they spoke about the inner citadel, a fortress inside every human being that no external force can conquer. Marcus Aurelius wrote his deepest reflections privately. In Eastern wisdom traditions, discipline began with mastering the mind. Because if you cannot govern the invisible, you cannot govern the visible. In ancient scripture, we see the same idea again and again. Character is not built by success. It is built by the invisible choices made when no one is watching. Every tradition that produces greatness says the same thing. Master yourself first. Because in those private moments of discipline, you are not just building habits, you are building a soul. Most people think discipline is restriction. They think it takes life away. But the truth is the opposite. Discipline is freedom. The person who cannot control what they consume is not free. They are a prisoner of appetite. The person who cannot control their time is not free. They are a prisoner of distraction. The person who cannot control their reactions is not free. They are a prisoner of circumstance. Real freedom is not doing whatever you want. Real freedom is doing what you were made to do. And that freedom only comes through discipline. Today, there is one battle waiting for you. You already know what it is. The habit you keep starting and stopping. The conversation you keep avoiding. The version of yourself you keep almost becoming. And in that moment, everything comes down to one question. Who do you choose to be when no one is watching? That answer, repeated every day, becomes your destiny. You were not built for an ordinary life. You were built for something that requires everything of you. And everything begins here. Win the war nobody sees. You have come too far in your understanding to go back to living on the surface. The fact that you are here, that you sought out this message, that you sat with these ideas, that something inside you said yes to this, that is not an accident. That is the part of you that already knows what you are capable of. Most people will never even ask the questions you are asking. Most people will scroll past the very things that could change their lives. But you stopped. You listened. And that means the war is already partly won. Because the hardest battle is simply waking up to the fact that there is one. But waking up is only the beginning. Now comes the part that no one can do for you. Now comes the private work. The unglamorous, unwitnessed, daily decision to become. You must win this war not for the applause, not for the recognition, not even for the results, but because you owe it to the person you were always meant to be. Every great life you have ever admired was built in the quiet. In the early mornings, nobody saw. In the moments of choice, when comfort was louder than calling, and someone chose calling anyway. That someone can be you. That someone must be you. Because the world does not need another person who almost became great. It needs you, fully, completely, without apology. If this message stirred something in you, do not let it fade. Share this video with one person who is fighting a battle in silence right now. Someone who needs to be reminded that the war they are waging in private is worth it. Subscribe to Echoes of Wisdom so you never miss a conversation like this one. And leave a comment below with just one word. The one word that describes the battle you are committing to win from today. I read every single one. This community is being built one awakened mind at a time, and I am honored you are part of it. Now go The war is waiting, and you were made to win it.